Hi, RPA kids. Happy Wednesday. We are continuing our series, checking out all these wonderful, interesting questions that we find in the Bible and see if we can find evidence that they are true. Happy Wednesday. Yeah. Are you ready for the story or question that we are investigating this week? Well, I'm going to tell you. It is found in the Bible, obviously. Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. We're not going to read it. I'm going to give you a summary, okay? We also see it in almost a lot of places, actually, because we are talking about the 10 Commandments this week. Do you know what the 10 Commandments are? Well, they are a list of commandments that God gave the Israelites after they were free from Egypt. And so after Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, God gave them the 10 Commandments, okay? And this was at Mount Sinai. These weren't just rules. They actually showed God's character and how people should live, how they should treat God and treat others, okay? And the commandments were written on stone tablets that should have to last forever. They were written down so that the Israelites could know how they should live. And so, our detective question that maybe a friend of yours might have in the future, I need God to tell us what's right and wrong. People can just decide that for themselves. And the word that we're going to learn today, if you didn't know it, is morality. Morality is the belief that some things are right and some things are wrong. And so as Christians, who determines what is right or wrong? God. And he did so as he gave us the Bible. His word is there. It tells us what we should do and what we shouldn't do. But some people don't believe in God, and so they don't think that morality exists, that every person decides what they should do. And that is the question that we are that's the question we are searching evidence for. So come on with me, and let's go figure this out. Clue number 1. Everyone agrees some things are wrong. So every culture agrees that murder, stealing, and lying are wrong. So if morality, the belief that some things are right and some things are wrong, was just our opinion, and we could all choose what we want to believe about that, then why do we agree on the things that are wrong? Universal moral truths point to a universal moral lawgiver who is God. Dun, 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 dun. There you have it. Let's go on to clue number 2. Clue number 2. Without God, morality is just an opinion. So if there's no God, then who decides what is right? You? Your country? I mean, if you've known anything if you learned about history, Hitler thought he was right and he did a horrible, horrible thing. But he thought he was right in doing it. But he was clearly not right. Without God as our standard, right and wrong become just your personal preferences. And nobody wants to live in a world where everybody decides what's right and what's wrong for themselves. Things would get pretty crazy, wouldn't it? Evidence number 3. Our conscience points to God. So Romans 2:15 says that God wrote his law on human hearts. That's why even people who don't know God or don't know the Bible feel guilt when they do something wrong. God has put morality in our hearts. It's kind of the way he designed us. Why would we feel guilty if there was nothing? Why would we feel guilty if what was right or wrong was just based on our preference? We could just decide, oh, well, that actually isn't wrong, and then our guilt would go away, right? Well, that doesn't happen because God designed us, God is real, and he decided what was right and what's wrong. And for good reasons, not just because there are a set of rules that he was like, you will do this because I said so. He has a reason behind all of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, why does all of this matter? Well, I'll tell you what, it matters big time. Because if God gave us moral law, then he's real and we are accountable to him. Being accountable to him means that, we have to show what we did and what we didn't do and whether it was right or whether it was wrong. It really matters. And so because of this, he sent Jesus to save us. We need forgiveness and we need Jesus. So, how will you talk to your friends who have questions about how we determine what's right and what's wrong? Because sometimes they might think it's just because there's politicians in the offices and they make up laws and stuff. But we have to have a foundation somewhere, and that foundation is the Bible. And might ask you, we don't need to know what's right or wrong. And we need Jesus's, Honey, can you stop making that sound, Gabe? And oftentimes that guilt that we feel is because we've done something wrong. Teddy, what did you do? What did you do? Did you do that? What did you do, Teddy? Did you do something bad? Oh, he doesn't look guilty. I guess he didn't do anything. I mean, when Teddy does something wrong, believe me, he does stuff wrong sometimes. He did it because he acts guilty. Gosh, even my dog knows when he's been bad.